Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this class again for fundamentals, as we are going for our third class, I think the fourth. This is the fourth time a video that we are making since we began our classes of summer 2019-2020. So guys, I believe you have been listening to the rest of the videos that I've made. And you are listening to them properly, and I believe that you're benefiting from them. If there is any query, let me know, because no man is an island. But again, this is another time that we are going to meet where we are going to look at some of our fundamentals. So I'll open up my slides, which I believe that you guys will be having on your laptop, either on your computer, and then you'll be able to open them and remove. Last time we ended on slide 50, so I'll scroll up to slide 50. So we are there, and we are talking about the input devices, and I believe we talked about the backorder readers and the microphone. So we are not going to continue with those because we already looked at them. So have digital cameras. A digital camera is one of the input devices that inputs the photos away together, or might be it takes snaps. We have a digital video. This is a video that already is digital away together. Then you have video conferencing, which already we know that video conferencing, this is whereby people are in different locations and can be able to meet and be able to discuss as if they're on a round table. Then we have a webcam. A webcam is one of the network devices that actually used in graphics. A camera like the digital camera will be able to take a photo, the distant image, which is very far, and then it takes it. After taking it, it's not the responsibility of the digital camera to bring the photo near. But after taking it, then the webcam will come and assist us to pull that image that has been taken by the camera to come near us all together. So that is the importance of this. So then we have speech recognition, a microphone. So a speech recognition is a type of input in which the computer recognizes the words spoken into a microphone all together. This is where we'll be having our voice input or voice within the system or within the computer or a microphone. Special softwares and microphones are required. So we shall require softwares that are used, as I have been telling you before, that most of the electronic devices, they all have softwares in them all together. Anything, let it be a radio, as long as it can produce sound, it has a software in it. We have microphone and input devices that converts sound into electrical signals. So this device is an electronic device that always will convert sound into electrical signals. At least the latest technology uses a continuous speech recognition where the user does not have to pause between the words altogether. So previously the microphones that we had, they used it when you are talking, you would pause, because when you speak without stopping, the microphone to be hard for it to receive what you're saying. But nowadays, because of the modern technology to have, so microphones does not need you to stop. You have to speed to talk continuously, and everything will be fine. Digital cameras, the images, light falls on a charge compelled device, that is CCD, which transforms the light patterns into pixels altogether. When the signals or when the images falls into the screen altogether, they form what I'll call the pixels. They are compelled and forms a spot, and then the measurements. What we are trying to mean that if now you are to put on it, you have to you have, if this is the screen, is it okay? That is the screen. If that is the screen, so you'll have this screen, and then you are taking a photo. It may be a spot here, so it counts horizontal and vertical and horizontal. This is vertical and horizontal, so it measures it like that. Is it okay? So it will be having these squares in it. So this horizontal and vertical, we call it pixel. Is it okay? So this is what we are referring to. So now we are saying the images are stored in the camera using the flash memory. So we always use a flash memory card to store this. Just photos editing programs enables the users to edit the images. So the photo editing, you have the photo editor. The photo editor is the software that is used to edit the photos, to arrange them, probably like what some of you uses PDF. So you can use the photo editor, a PDF photo editor. It can assist you to edit the photo, and then someone can appear, might be coming from the airplane or coming what you can put any background of yourself that you feel you want. If the one that was there was not good for you, so you can edit it in the way you want. Good pictures can be taken using the point and shoot camera. So you point and shoot. So you take, you see, you pull, and then you see, and then you take. Single lenses reflex CLR. Digital cameras are expensive and used by professional photographers. So these digital cameras, you normally see them on weddings, you normally see them on parties. When they're moving this, it is not everybody can be able to use these cameras, but it is only for specialized people. So video, digital videos captures, board transforms, and analog videos into digital videos. So you take, the videos will be taken in analog, but then later they will be converted into digital videos. Codecs or compressions. The compressions standards are used to compress the digital videos files. That's, we have codecs. So this codecs is a compression. It's a method of compressing the video, because we know that video are graphics and they are always big. So to fit into the camera or into the digital camera, what we do, we compress them by using codecs. So a frame rate of 24 frames per second is needed to produce the continuous smooth actions. So it will look at the length, the rate of the picture, and then to give a clear picture. Video conferencing uses digital videos technology to simulate face-to-face meetings, as I've been saying. Whiteboard, which are part of the screen, can be used to write or draw. So you can do anything, whatever you'll be writing on the board as I'm writing here, it will be reflected on any other screens, and then it can be even posted over the YouTube as in my real handwriting. So webcam provides a low resolution video conferencing for internet users. The images are small and jerky. You're getting that? So they are not. Output devices. Output devices allows information to be put from the computer. Output. So the output devices, the input devices will be inputting the data into the computer, and then the data will be processed. Then the output devices will output them, like the monitor altogether, and the printer will put them out. Examples of these devices will have monitor, will have a printer, will have a projector, and will have a plotter. Is it okay? So output devices, these are now the output devices when you're using sound. So you can see someone is hard copy. This is sound and this is a video. So output devices are peripheral devices that enables the user to view or hear the computer processed data. Is it okay? So it can be sound, it can be graphics, or it can be hard copies data. Are you getting that? So visual output, text, graphics, and videos. Audio output, sounds, music, and synthesized speech. Are we together? So all these ones will be required. Visual display systems. Now this one here is very important, and you find out that these visual display systems Very important because they use for displaying. In most devices or in most computers, if you don't have a display, VDS display, visual display systems is composed of two parts. You have a video adapter responsible for video quality, and then you have monitor display, the video adapter output. So these ones here are the ones, this is what I call the VGA card that I always put into the computer, and then the cable, the VGA cable, connects to the monitor at the same time connects to the what? This is what I'm trying to mean, that if I have my monitor here, this is the monitor, is it okay? This is the monitor, and now I have my computer here, is it okay? Then I'll be having maybe a VGA here, a VGA port, is it okay? So the VGA port will be here, and then I'll get here on the monitor, you'll be having also a VGA port as well, all together. Now I'll get a VGA cable and connect it to run from here to this. Is it okay? So when it comes here now, this one here, it understands the digital language. Is it okay? But this one here does not. So it's this cable that reads, this stands in between the monitor and the computer itself. Are we together? So these ones here, it is analog. Analog what? Language. So it will be converted through, it is this VGA that converts the digital into analog, so that when it is coming back at this side, it still does its work to convert them into digital, so that this one can accept them. Are you getting that? Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to mean. So we can look at another one. So video adapters. A video adapter is also called a display adapter. It's used to display, and it can also give the resolution of the screen altogether. It can give a clear resolution, automatic altogether, as we shall be seeing as we continue. So we have video card or graphic card. All of them are the names of a video adapter. It plugs into an expansion slot on the motherboard. So you put it on an expansion slot. When we talk of expansion slot, we mean that we have the slots here that where there is no ports, and then probably when this port is dead, then you buy this card, a VGA card, and install it in this expansion. Expansion slots increases the functionalities or adds on the functionalities of what? Of a machine. Assuming maybe there are free spaces that are left there for you to add any port of your choice, depending on how you want to improve on your what? On the standard of your computer. Is it okay? It contains the memory called video RAM, VRAM altogether. So it contains that memory that will always be assisting us to convert and do other things. It is designed to work with digital or analog monitors altogether. It is designed, as you have just seen. It converts the digital signals into analog, as I told you, that as the data moves from this side, because it's an analog, comes this side to be changed to digital. As it's moving from this side to this side to be displayed, to be changed to analog. So it determines the monitor maximum resolutions, as I've said, VGA or super VGA. So it determines the monitor refresh rate. Refresh rate, that's the time when the monitor should be on and when the monitor is off. That's when sometimes when you leave the monitor, you leave your computer is on. For example, mine right now it is on. If it is on and then you take like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on its configuration, it can be able to convert to put in the save mode, and you find that when you come back, you'll find that the monitor is green, is black, and you think the computer is not what? Is not on, yet it is on, only that that's the refresh rate for it to keep it. So 3D graphics adapters that enables the three-dimensional images. The three-dimensional images, that's now when you are on the monitor, this three-dimensional images will always assist us. For example, when we have our monitor like this, and then when I draw something here, I may see only some few things. I think that now this part in front here, it can be seen, but there is a part behind there which is like this one here, and it is not seen. I think that, so this is a three-dimension. I'm getting that. So the other part now, it makes us to see the behind part so that we can take the full picture of the whole of it. I'm getting it. So it uses a dimension method. So multiple display video adapters permits the connections of 2 monitors at a time. So it can allow a dimension and the connections of 2 to 3 or 2 to 3 or to 4 depending on the expansion slots that can support 2 monitors or 3 monitors, like those ones which have serial connected to serial, and those ones VGA itself. All of them are VGAs, but the connection there is a parallel and serial. So there are 2 of serials and there is 1 for, no, 2 parallel and 1 serial. Is it okay? Yes. So then we have monitors. A monitor will have 2 types of monitor: CRT, cathode ray tube, and then LCD, liquid crystals display. Are you getting that? So a monitor is a peripheral device which displays a computer output on a screen. That one everybody knows. A screen output is referred to as a soft copy. And types of monitors will have a cathode ray tube, CRT, and liquid crystals display. Sometimes we call it a flat panel. Are we together? So we have the cathode ray tube. The cathode ray tube, resembles a television. Most of you guys, you have seen this. This is very big screen and it covers a big part. Are we together? So it uses a picture tube technology and then less expensive than LCD monitors, takes up more desk space and uses more energy than LCD monitors. That is true. Liquid crystals display. Cells sandwich between the 2 transparent layers forms images. Now, here it gives you 2 things. Why is it called sandwich? Cell sandwich. Cell sandwich means that I have my screen. When I have my screen here, this screen has 2 mirrors. Most of you have been in a salon whereby you have a mirror in front of you and you have a mirror behind you. So for you are seated here and you are there, and seated being worked on with someone cutting you. So this is a mirror. Is it okay? And also this is a what? A mirror. Are we together? So as you are seated here, this mirror, this is this part, and the front part will be reflected. The signals will be reflected here like this. Is it okay? And what is reflected here will go back, will bounce and come back. So what is here, you cannot see the other part of yourself, but when it reaches here and it bounces and it goes back, then you can be able to see it from this side. Is it okay? So this is the presence of this and this is what I call sandwich mirrors. Are you getting that? So these are sandwich. You are in between. So the image is there in between. So it can hit here, it comes and hits here, and it goes back again. Are you getting that? So you can be able to see in front of you, and still you can be able to see behind you with this technology of reflection. Is it okay? So that's what we're trying to look at. So use it for notebook, computers, PDAs, cellular phones, and personal computers. So those ones are the ones that are using those. More expensive than CRT. They are more expensive monitors. Take up less desk space and uses less energy than CRT monitors. As we saw that the CRT will always use more energy, whereas the LCD will use less power. Are you getting that? So the powers that the RC, they consumes a lot of power and they take a big space, whereas the LCD takes a little space compared to CRT, and again it consumes a little power compared to RC. Takes up less desk space. And then types of LCD monitors have passive matrix, LCD, active matrix, gas sums display, and have field emission display. Are we together? Then again we have this monitor specification. Now we have the screen size. The diagonal measurements of the screen service in inches. So the screen size, you normally hear people saying, I'm selling my monitor, I'm selling my TV. What is the size? People talk of 15, others talk of 17, others 19, 21, 20, 24, 26, 30, what? All are getting that. So these are the screen size. Resolution, the sharpness of the picture, or the sharpness of the screen, how clear the screen is. The sharpness of the image determined by the number of horizontal and vertical dots in bracket pixels that the screen can display, either 800 times 600 or 1024 times 768 or 16,000 times 12,000. You're getting that? 1200. So 1600 and 1200. Are getting that? Now you see that this is the horizontal, the vertical and horizontal. It's what I call the pixel. The pixel is the senior 1 units of a screen. Are we together? Refresh rate, the speed at which the screen is redrawn, refreshed, and measured in hectare, in hertz, 60 hertz or 75 hertz. The frequency at which the monitor can draw data from an 201 external source in 1 second. You're getting that? So we look at all these. This is the screen size and the resolution, the sharpness of the picture, of the data, how clear the screen is. You're getting that? That is the resolution. So I promised this course, as we are dealing with this, we need to have an assignment. So from here, I'll have the assignment, and obviously when I'm looking at the assignment, I don't always project that. Is it okay? So they are like almost 3 to 7 might be slides that I need to give the assignment. Is it okay? So from 65 to 71, that one is an assignment. And what is it? How is the assignment? Is the one. So here I give the assignment, the first assignment, and now it will be here. You can read it here and then be able to do it by yourself. So say assignment. Is it okay? So we have the assignment there. So 1A. 1A, what is a printer? What is a printer? What is a printer? B. What is a printer? B. It will be list down the advantage of printers in an organization. Like Bugema. Is it okay? C. Explain the types of printers and give examples in each case. All together, in each case. That is it. This assignment will take 20 marks. 20 marks if it is properly explained. If it is not, then obviously the marks will draw down. Now submit your marks. Submission. Today is 13th, so it will be submitted to be submitted. Submission will be on 18th. Okay, on 20th September 2020. That's when you're submitting in a hard, not in a hard copy, not in a hard copy. On my email, and you'll use this trellis. This is 1, 2, that is trellis to Sige 1, 2 twesige@gmail.com. Is it okay? So you'll use this email to submit your assignment. Use this email to submit your what? Your assignment. On 20th, any assignment that will not be submitted on 20th, he will get 0. Any assignment that will not be submitted on 20th, he or she will get 0. No compromise, no excuse, no what. Are we together? So please make sure that you observe and do your work. I've given you 7 days from now, and this is going to be uploaded right now, and you get it. Please read and do your assignment. Edit your work. Any unnecessary work that is copied from anywhere without editing, without what, will lead to loss of marks. If you just copy things from the internet, you don't analyze it, you don't do anything, you don't, in other words, actually I should change here. Okay, send your work online using this email, but do this for me. Write. Use your handwriting to submit all together to submit this work. Leave alone the one that I've just said. So use this to submit it. In other words, you write after writing with your handwriting alone. Then you take a photo or you scan what you have written in your handwriting and send them to me on this email. Is it okay? I hope I'm clear now. That was the best. Let me continue. Audio output. Audio output is the ability of a computer to output sound. The ability or the potential that the machine will be having for it to be able to output the sound. How long, the distance that it can be able to cover. 2 components are needed. Sound card contains of digitalized recording. So you'll need a sound card installed in your computer. This is a hardware that recognizes, assists you to connect speakers. You're getting that. This is this one here, the one down here. You're getting that. That's a sound card. This one. So you can put it there, and then obviously the drivers have to be there. We shall talk about the drivers. So I have speakers attached to the sound card. So these are the speakers attached to the sound card to produce sound, depending on which the voice, the radius that these speakers can be able to cover. So digital formats includes, these are the formats or the senior 1 units of the of sound. So have memory storage. When we are keeping data, we normally keep them on storages, and we normally look at those storages. First of all, we have to look at the storage devices. It's a hardware device designed to store information. So it is hardware, like for example, you can look at a CD, you can look at a hard disk, those are hardwares, isn't it? You can look at a DVD, you can look at a flash, those are what? hardware. So we say a storage device is a hardware device designed to store information for a long period of what? Of time. There are two types of storage devices used in a computer. We have primary storage devices, and we have a second storage devices. This keeps tracks of what is currently being processed. It is volatile memory altogether. So this primary storage is a main memory. So a primary storage is what? Is a primary memory which keeps what is being executed at that particular time. Not executed, but which is being running at that particular time altogether. Which is run, for example, when you copy your operating system from the hard disk to the RAM, that's now whatever is being done in the RAM, that's a volatile. Volatile means they evaporate easily. In other words, when the power goes off, they get a rest or they disappear immediately. Power off, erase all the data. I'm getting that. For main memory, the computer uses a random access memory. This uses a memory chip and is the fastest but most expensive type of storage. I'm getting that. It's expensive in such a way that in case if you type your work and then you don't save it, I'm getting that. Obviously, it will be expensive because you'll find that you have taken 10 minutes when you are typing and power goes off, but you did not save your document, you'll repeat it again. And again, if it goes 10 times and when you have forgotten to save, then you repeat it 10 times. So that's expensive. You are consuming a lot of what? Of time. So it's expensive either in terms of money, but more especially in terms of what? Of time. Are we together? So that is storage device. Is it okay? So we shall come to memory storage. Memory storages will have magnetic disk. Of the various types of auxiliary storages, the types used most often involves the same types of magnetic disk. These come in various sizes and materials. These methods uses magnetism to store the data on a magnetic surfaces. So when we say magnetic disk, in other words, they use magnetism for it to store the data on their surfaces. And the advantage is high storage capacity. For example, hard disk, they store a very big capacity, or have a very big capacity to store data. They are reliable. Whenever the data is required, you can get it at that particular time. You can take an example of a hard disk still as well. Give direct access to the data. So it will give you a direct contact to to your data. You don't need to look for it anywhere, but it will be direct. Then we have types of magnetic disks. Others we have diskette, that's a floppy disk. Are getting that? That has the size. Two sizes we have 5 1/4 and then 3 1/2. So those are two sizes, and these are the floppy disks that we're talking about. This one and this. This is 5 1/4, and this is 3 1/2. Several other kinds of removable magnetic medias are in use, such as the Opera zip disk. Are getting that? So all of these have much higher capacity than the floppy disk. Are getting that? These other medias that are being used, which uses magnetic, they have high capacity. Their capacity is bigger than the floppy disk. The floppy disk had 128 kbs, isn't it? So that was very small. Nowadays, we no longer have that. So some kinds of new computer come without the floppy disk. So nowadays, they don't always move with this floppy disk. There are so many. Most computers don't have that. Even I myself, the computers I used, I never used those floppy disks, probably by my bosses. Each type of a media requires its own drive. You're getting that? So each type of a media, every media will need its It's a drive. We're going to see what a drive is. The drive, drives and disks are much more expensive than the floppy disk. So when you talk of a drive, in this case, we talk of a room drive, DVD drive, DVD room drive. We're getting that. So it drives. That's where you put the CD, and then it drives it, it reads it. You're getting that. Those are the ones that you're talking about. Then we look at types of magnetic disks. For example, you can look at a hard disk. These consist of one or more metals platter which are sealed inside the case. So they are sealed inside the what? Inside the case. Are you getting that? So this is the disk inside there where the data is written randomly. The metal is one which is magnetic. It is usually installed inside the computer case. Through there are removable and cartridge type also. So you find that this one is installed inside. they are trying to tell us that it is installed inside the computer, like how you install a cartridge. A cartridge is the one that is used for laptop, for printers altogether. For example, if I can open my machine here, you'll see that I'll be having a cartridge inside here. So this is a cartridge. This one is a cartridge. This is a cartridge. This is a cartridge. I'm getting it from my printer here. Is it okay? So that's why they're saying that it is installed the cartridge printer altogether. So those are the ones that we're talking about. So they're saying technically the hard drive is what controls the motions of the hard disk. So have a hard drive. There are two things that you need to note. There is a drive. This is how the CD may look like. The CD, this may be a DVD, and then no, a hard disk. So it has inside. So this one here is the hard drive. The hard drive. Now this is a DVD. No, this is a hard disk. This is a hard what? A hard disk. This one, the entire of it. But now this hard drive is this one, where there is a what? A disk on it, and then it has a pointer here, a pointer there. So this one here, it's the one that, as it is running, this one here has a hole here that is holding it, a pin that is holding it there. As this one runs like this one will be running. As this one moves like this one will be waiting on it. Are you getting that? Yes. Well, now, which contains the data and but most people uses a hard disk and hard drive interchangeably. So that, like what I've just told you, people, they, instead of talking of a hard disk, they talk of a hard drive. A hard drive, you are meaning the inside part of it. That's the hard drive, the one that drives the what? The CD inside there. Whereas the outside, the whole entire is called the hard disk. Are we together? So people use it interchangeably. Yeah, so we have optical discs, and entirely different methods of recording data is used for optical discs. It uses light. To make an optical disc, tiny lasers creates peaks and valleys in a plastic layer on a circular disc. In the device that reads the optical discs, these peaks and valleys are read as ones and zeros by shining others laser on the disk altogether. So now with these other storage devices that are being used within the optical discs, for them they use light. Is it okay? They use light to read on them altogether, and now they make peaks. So they make these peaks and valleys. Peaks and what? And valleys. And they are written in terms of 1 and 0. When it comes to this peak here, to this valley here, this valley is a 0. This peak here is a 1. You're getting that? This one here, this peak here, I'm saying it is a 0. This peak here is a 0 because it's already sitting 0 and 1. Now this peak here, the peak here is a 1. This valley here is a 0. This peak here is a 1. This valley here is a 0. This peak here is a 1. I think that. So it's written in that kind of waves. Are you getting that? Making valleys and what? And peaks. So this is a peak and this is a valley. I hope we are together. Then we have these optical discs still. I think I was still here. So have the CD-ROM. The most common size of the optical disc, which stands for the compact disc, read-only memory. So this one, there is a one that read-only memory. It looks just like an audio CD. Almost all of the software is being distributed on a CD now. The price systems will come with the CD drive. Such a drives will always play your audio CDs if you have a sound card and speakers. Now, what are they trying to look at? A CD-ROM. A CD-ROM is a drive that where you insert your CD and then it drives it. It reads the data that is there. I'm getting that is a drive. That's why we call it a CD-ROM drive or a CD-ROM. ROM, that's where you insert it, and then when you put on your computer, then it runs the CD. The CD will rotate like this as it is reading the data is where that's there. And they are telling us that most of the e-commerce people who are distributing most of their songs, others who are artists are doing different activities, they keep their data on CDs or DVDs. Are we together? I hope you have seen that. And then we are saying that they can be a bit expensive because they are on high demand, whereby these people are keeping their what I call the commercial softwares on them. Then the CD that contains the commercial softwares are of the written once read memory. Are you getting that? Written once and read once. So you don't always read it or write on it again. For changing data, we need rewritable disks, labeled CD stroker rewritable altogether. CD stroker RW altogether. So now when we have an rewritable disks and rewritable CD-ROMs, and then we have rewritable CD-ROMs. Are you getting that? A CD-ROM that can be able to write on a CD, an empty CD. You get an empty CD and then you put your worker there. You write on it. So the CD, the DVD the CD-ROM or a DVD-ROM that will read will write on that CD. Then there are those ones that will only read but they cannot write. And there are those who can write and at the same time they can read. The optical disc is much sturdier than the other media discussed so far. It is physically harder to break or melt or warp it. Are you getting it? So you can't break it very easily. It's not easy to break a CD or a DVD. It is not sensitive to being touched. Through it can get too dirty or scratched to be read. So it's not good. It's not so sensitive for you to touch on them, touching them inside. You're not supposed to touch them inside, handling them in a bad way. And again, scratches, that means you'll be scratching the data that is there. It is entirely unaffected by magnetic field. They don't be affected by a magnetic field. Plus, you own a imprint label right on the disk. So for the software providers, the optical disk is a great way to store the software and the data that they want to distribute or sell. The main disadvantages is cost, but the cost of a CD drive has dropped dramatically and quickly so far. The commercial uses and read write devices, and so it is not easy to copy and to do that. So those are some of the disadvantages that this thing has. So look at booting. I think for today we can end here. We cannot make it much more. So we have ended on slide 80. Are we together? So it will make us we shall begin from there, and then otherwise, may the good Lord bless you and keep you and make you to continue reading these things and understand them. Please make sure that you read them, and I remind you again back to the assignment that I have just put inside there. Please, when you meet it, start immediately. You are not supposed to send the work that is typed. No, it should be handwritten. Take a photo of that. Those who have some smartphones, those who don't have, write it in handwritten and then scan it and send the scanned document to that email that I have given you. Is it okay? That is what you are supposed to do. Whoever will not do that, he will be receiving a 0. If you send a type to work, you receive 0. Because you have not done the assignment. The assignment rule says write the work in your handwriting and then send it. Take a photo of it and send it, or scan it and send it. So it is possible to do that. I thank you. Thank you for listening for this video. Thank you, fundamental students. Be there, and I know that you are listening to them, and the Holy Spirit is there to grant you the knowledge and wisdom to understand each one of these videos. Otherwise, may the God Lord bless you and keep you until we meet. Then let me end here.